We had a couple of them messing with our A-rigs and stuff, jerk baits, and got right over the top of them and dropped a Damiki-rig on their head. And first try doing that, caught one. So we're out here targeting winter bass, and we're mostly catching them on a jerkbait and an Alabama rig today. But a lot of situations the fish are not committing to the bait and they're following it back. And there's not really much you can do sometimes to get those fish to eat. And what they'll do is they'll follow the bait all the way back to the boat. And once you pull the bait out of the water, they'll just sit under the trolling motor for some reason. Sometimes they may sit suspended still. Sometimes they go to the bottom. But a way to catch some of those fish, and it's not a fix-all, you can't catch every one of them, but a way we've caught several today and a way that we do sometimes is a Damiki-rig. And if they'll stay under the trolling motor, which I don't know why, but a lot of times they do, they just sit right under the trolling motor for, you know, as long as the boat's not moving, they'll sit there for 15, 20, 30 seconds. If you've got a follow-up bait, just like you would a topwater, one follows it back, you just drop this down. Drop it straight under the boat and hold it right over their heads. You want to keep that bait above them, and you don't put a lot of action in it. They just as subtle as you can get it, and that sometimes will trigger that fish to bite. For some reason they takes them too long to decide whether they're going to eat a jerk bait or an Alabama rig or whatever else they may follow back. But they'll sit under that trolling motor, and you can catch probably 25–30% of them dropping on their heads. And just hold it right over them, sit there and shake it. A lot of times they'll come up and eat it. So the reason this bait is effective is because you can sit this bait horizontally in the water column due to the line tie being back on the head. So you can even see it somewhat here. That bait wants to sit flat. And this is really an oversized plastic for this head, but with that line tie being back here, it balances the bait to where it sits horizontally in the water, just like a shad would. And you don't have to swim this to keep that bait horizontal. And that's what is so effective about the Damiki rig.